to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Chairman Dale Masson.
Here.
Vice Chairman Terrence Rowe.
Here.
Member Jenny Sorrell.
Here.
Member William Dittmer.
Here.
Member Richard Bloom.
Present.
City Attorney James Matthew.
Here.
City Manager Vincent Lupo.
Here. Motion to approve minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any announcements?
No, sir.
General public, like to speak? Okay. Board, bring it to you. Richard, any comments,
minute.
any thoughts?
No, you have somebody in the
Oh,
audience.
well, you were really late.
Slow getting up. Thomas Brown, 7436 Candlelight Court. I'd just like to repeat, the FBI is investigating a city in Florida suspected of spending CRA funds on projects that do nothing to eliminate blight and slums.
We would welcome them to look at our books.
No.
Board, anyone? Okay. We have resolution 18-05. Mr. Matthews.
Yeah, at the request of council, I prepared a resolution, this isn't an ordinance, of the Community Redevelopment Agency, supporting the future of community redevelopment agencies in Pasco County. I can read it, Councilman Rowe, if you'd like me to. You want me to read just the therefore clauses?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Motion to approve resolution 18-05. Second.
I have a motion, I have a second.
I
Any
just want
thought?
to voice some concern with this. I just briefly spoke with Terry, Mr. Rowe, on this. As we know, the county does not want to willingly release these funds to us to start with. I have some hesitation as to throwing it back at them, whether that will or not. I understand Terry's point of view. I personally don't think it's something that I want to red flag, so to speak. So I'll be a nay.
Jim, can you tell us the pros and cons of this resolution?
The pros and cons of the resolution? Resolution doesn't have any legal significance. The pros and cons are political questions, legal ones. I can answer questions what CRAs are. It's tax incremental funding. But what's
That
good
would
and
be-
bad about them? I mean, we like them, I like them. So, I mean, if that's,
And we realize why we want to keep them.
Yeah, my purpose here was, it was very apparent to me during a meeting at the county, the last meeting we had, that they seem to be of a like mind to just allow themselves to be denied this. And I didn't feel that was proper, and I would have liked them to fight for the cities. We have tight budgets, we have full services, and we try to keep our budgets tight, and we are older cities, and we're not alone. And if we lose this, it is a loss. And it is a loss in that we're not going to be able to fight the blight as we have been in the past, although, I grant it, they were not used properly. What I asked them to do in this is to make sure those restraints are in there, to make sure it's properly used. Once that's done, I really believe this is necessary because, as I said before, if we don't do this, the new cities, Wiregrass, and all these wonderful, beautiful places in Pasco County will prosper. And the older cities like ourselves, Newport Richey, Zephyr Hills, and all the others will die on the vine. And their progress and their pride in these older cities, unfortunately, I think will suffer.
Are these new cities getting CRA funds? I mean, what is there to redevelop on these brand new places?
I don't believe that they are. I do not believe that they are because they're new. They don't have,
They don't have the blighted
no,
areas.
they don't have
They
blighted
have the
areas
issues
at
that
all.
we have as an older city.
Correct.
Yeah, I hope this would not in any way irritate the commissioners.
That's my concern.
My sole purpose here is to ask them to fight for us, fight for this if they can, to help their own county and to help the cities.
You
That's the
think
best way I
Do
put
you
it.
think we're a little premature on this? That, I mean, right now, CRA is being discussed for termination. Obviously, eventually, it will come to an end. I was at that last county meeting with you, and like I said, we are in way better shape than some of our other sister cities
Right.
on the CRA funding.
Yeah, being that they're discussing this at the state level already and making their minds up, I don't think we can be too soon with this. I think we need to put this through at our next meeting with the county and just ask them to fight for this for us. I think it's necessary. I think it's a good thing.
Why do we have to put it in writing? Can't we just ask them?
Well, a resolution is a way that a city would do that. It's kind of a proper format for us to ask that, you know, they know we're serious, it's a resolution, we resolve that this is the right thing that they should do for us. And I don't think I mean, I really would be surprised if they took offense at this, but I would hope they wouldn't. I mean, it is just simply a request, a very definite verbal request by our city to tell them how important this is to the future of our city. That's all I can say.
I have a question and a comment. So, if you irritate the commissioners, and it's just my naivety, but what are the ramifications to us as a city if that, are there ramifications if they are upset with us? I don't know.
Well, we are tasked with providing certain reports about what we do, how we expend those funds. The county then takes a look at it. In the past, we've had legal opinions as to what we can and cannot do. Most certainly, the county itself is caught between a brick and a hard place. They would, I'm sure all the county commissioners would like to see improvements in all of the areas, the cities within their jurisdiction. But by the same token, those funds could be utilized if they weren't going to the small cities by the county itself for certain specific functions. So from that perspective, they have this balancing act between self-interest for strictly county projects and allowing the cities to move forward. Each city has chosen a specific path on how to use these funds. Our city has attempted to use it for blight. Our city has attempted to use it for many other reasons, including dredging. Other communities, like our neighbors, have used it for massive redevelopment loan issues. Different county commissioners have a different perspective on what they feel the city should be doing. And consequently, there's this dichotomy of thought about CRA. The county has a huge budget, and included in that budget, they have lobbyists. They pay lobbyists. Right now, the state itself is re-examining the whole issue itself. CRA is good until 2030, I believe, 30 years. I'm sorry. Number? 2032. 2032.
And they can stop that at any time.
But we,
Or can
They can do whatever they want. I highly doubt they'll stop it in the middle of it, but go ahead.
no, stopping in the middle can potentially bankrupt some communities. But it's scheduled to run to 32. That doesn't mean that they won't say, okay, you've got, that's 12 more years in the future. We'll cut it back, give the other cities time to bail themselves out. So that's the issue. What other repercussions, other than audits that are conducted, and there are none.
Well, let me ask it a different way. Can the county commissioners come in, look over how our CRA money is being used, and basically say, well, it doesn't appear that your CRA money is being used for what its intended purpose. It's a hypothetical. Therefore, we are going to withdraw that CRA money.
Oh, I'm not the attorney, but that's not gonna happen.
The county is the auditing agency for the
Right.
CRA. It's a little gray in there, and I've read it
Right.
many times, but it's a very long statute. But they took the position, they would have to file an action against us to do that. You
Okay.
understand me? They would audit us, bring an action, saying, you know, you're not living up to the CRA. It'd be a lawsuit, that's for sure. They may do it just by turning off the spigot, and we'd have to sue them, but,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah. And my second point is this, is if you would lose the CRA money, then that would be a source of income to the city, correct?
Yeah, of course, we would lose that.
And that income is being used for various things, projects, and
Yes,
so
sir.
forth and so on. You would have to look to some other source of income to replace that source.
Either you would replace that source, or you would do without whatever the function is.
And I might say Vince is the last person that ran this city without CRA funds,
Okay.
although we did put them in.
So, just to follow up, doing without could mean cutting services that the city provides, or replacing that income could mean increasing the ad valorem taxes.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
All right, I think I understand it now, thank
So,
you.
I'll give you a little other history. When I was elected, I asked the commissioners to look at our CRA, because we were using 98.02% of it for employee salaries, overtime, retirements, et cetera. And I don't know that it helped us get to here, but it got us started on the path that Vince is keeping us on, so that it is being used in the correct way. And that's all I ever wanted it to do. And I think that's what Terry and this city will look better, grow more, if they keep it up. Now, maybe another more prudent way, if we pass this, is send it to the other cities and get,
Maybe we should take a consensus of some of the other cities.
You could pass this with the understanding that you're gonna send it to them. and
Okay.
Asking if they'd be willing to do the same thing.
Now, see, that.
That would be great. I don't have a problem with that.
Because then we can
There,
get a
there is power in
consensus of the
unity,
other
yes.
cities, how they feel. I think that's a good way to proceed.
We could take it to the next MAP meeting.
Yeah.
You could sign it with that understanding as opposed to sending it.
The sales pitch I'm gonna use for this, and I know Jocelyn's been to, we had 6 harbors meetings, or 7 already. This is a pride and joy project for the county, and they put a lot of time and a lot of effort and a whole lot of money into this project to beautify the waterfront areas that we are part of. If we don't have the monies to fix the old infrastructures and things that need to be done, and we can't do it without raising millage, which is gonna be something that councils are in the future are not gonna wanna do, it's gonna hurt their harbors plan. So that's my sales pitch. We need this for the harbors plan, as well as for our city.
Terry, you're certainly more involved up there, and I appreciate your input. As far as the Restore Act money, have they given us a?
Restore Act is an entirely
It's a
different.
different thing, but have we got?
Oh, no, we haven't submitted it, we haven't submitted bills yet. Remember, we have to pay the first amount, and that's what we've done.
You want me to explain that, Vince? I know he's really sick. $1 million. We had, and I'm generalizing here, we had to spend the first third of that. We've already spent that, we sent it over. We have our approval. We now have to spend the 2/3 of $1 million, which will get paid back. We can't begin to spend that yet because we're renewing our permits with the Army Corps. That's what we're up to.
That's, it
Which
is
will be, which will
available.
be somewhat of a dance during the budget process here, because we have to have $666,000, which we're getting back, except we don't know how fast we're gonna get it back, so Mr. Lupo will figure that out, we'll make that happen. Does that answer your question, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, and nobody can dance like Vince.
So are we in agreement to take this to the MAP meeting, Terry?
Yeah, let's, if we will, let's pass this tonight, so that we have
Based
this
on
in
what you
hand
do
and
with it,
take
it's
it
up
to
to you,
them and
yeah.
ask them to join us with their own.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
pass it based on having the others join, or at least bringing it up to them, I think would be a better way to do it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 You're gonna take it to the MAP meeting?
Yeah, let's,
Let's do it. I think it was a good idea.
No, not there, agenda. You're done. You're done.
unless,
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn?
All in
Second.
favor?
All right, we're out of here.